Hello and welcome to another Warcraft III audio commentary. Today we're going to be watching a best of 3 matchup. This is game 3 between Reprisal, spawning as the yellow human in the lower left side of the map, versus a Fly, spawning as the blue orc in the upper right side of the map. This is game 3 of the best of 3 series in this season 2 HiNice Cup match-offs between Fly and Reprisal. So yes, indeed, if you didn't catch game 2, you can click right there, and this is game 3. And there you go. And if you yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. This is HiNice Cup, which means we do have a zoomed out view, and this is the leaderboard that we're going to have a quick rundown of. That is, here is the game time, the end game time. This is the race. It's represented by the worker of the race, the name and their color, their current gold, their current wood. And then maybe the most confusing one is the food. The 0 represents the amount of food in army, not stuff that's being built, but stuff that is on play on the field. And the last bit, the 19 out of 20, which, as you can see, it essentially just mirrors whatever Warcraft III would say. And of course, Warcraft III shows units that are being built as counted food, which makes sense. So, but also the army food is a nice little indicator. It just tells us perhaps a little bit better whenever we have fights clashing what exactly the amount of food count is for both players, and that's nice. We're going to go ahead and see, it looks like a scout footman coming across the map. Going to have an archmage coming over here to use a footman and some militia to creep this out, the null camp right there, which is essentially what you normally expect to see. And the blade master going to go ahead and watch where he wind walks, because this is going to be good to know. He's coming down here and he's going to wind walk right there, and what he's going to do, it's going to allow him to sell the TP, buy a circlet, and get all the way over here to this side of the map, and get into a good position right here and buy another circlet, as well as you can see, about to run out, open onto this Ogre Magi, which will allow him to run here with that circlet, or with that grunt, with those 2 circlets, and creep out this Ogre Magi. Which is nice. It gives him some additional experience early on in the game. Gives him both of those circlets, which is really nice. So you have Reprisal Scout Footman, just going to be scouting around. I don't know if it actually saw that, but either way, we're going to see that he did pick up some item. Whatever item it was, it wasn't good enough for him, and he sold it. And he's going to come over here to this fountain of health, essentially, and creep this out as well now. So as you can see, it's a really nice optimized creep pattern to have if you're an orc player. There you go. Of course, there are a variety of different ways you can creep out on this map as an orc player, but for Reprisal is where we're going to see him go ahead and take out this green camp. Normally, it's not a green camp I see taken out early on, but it's going to be one that is taken out. Over here for Fly again, who, as you can see, has no problem creeping this out, and we do have Reprisal's footman in here trying to scout and still experience, if he can, from that hit, from that null right there. However, Fly was like, I'm wise to you, Mr. Footman, and he's not going to let that happen. We're just going to try not to let that happen. Almost did. He actually almost did, though. He went to go for the attack. It looked like Reprisal might have backed off. I think if he had just let that finish, he would have got the experience. That would have been a really nice jack. But either way, you're going to see it looks like Reprisal is going to creep out this health fountain. Is he actually going to try to kill that Red Drake? It's a possibility. He has moved the Red Drake into a position where the Red Drake actually isn't taking healing, but is taking damage. However, there is a Fly's grunt right here that has now been surrounded by Reprisal's units. He's going to go ahead and try to take that out. Fly's Blade Master running in here, going to go ahead and pick off a footman when breaking from Windwalk, and trying to keep that grunt alive and force Reprisal away from the healing fountain. Of course, the healing fountain's healed as a base of percentage, which makes these grunt units, of course, proportionately much better at a healing fountain than the human units. As you can see how fast that grunt heals up. It was very difficult for Reprisal to kill it, which gave plenty of time for the Fly to get over there and deal with that. And a little bit unfortunate, because, you know, when you're talking 700 versus 420 HP, that's a pretty big deal. It's 280 HP more, and that's, you know, just percentage that, as you can see, doesn't heal up quite as fast as the grunts were. But just, you know, it's just one of those things. It's a little bit annoying, but that's why you don't fight an orc at a healing fountain, and that's why Secret Valley is commonly considered one of the better orc maps, and that's not completely why, of course, because there's also the fact that there's some ridiculous drops on this map. You can get like 2 claws of attack plus 12, you get claws of attack plus 9, 2 of those, and then you can get plus claws of attack plus 6 at the same camps where you can get to plus 9. So there's a lot of damage possibilities here for a Fly, for that Blade Master. We're gonna go ahead and see. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's coming over here. Did he scout something? Well, either way, he's going to scout Reprisal's army right here. He's going to be able to get at least 1 footman. Probably going to get at least 2 footmen, maybe even all 3 of them. 1 footman does go down, critting right now for 88, which is more than him breaking from Windwalk, and that's with level 1 crits. He does have level 2 Windwalk, so there you go, right? But damage-wise, crit is amazing when you have plus 10 damage, of course. As you can see, 70 backstab damage coming in from that Windwalk. We do see Reprisal trying to cancel this Bestiary. There's also a Spirit Lodge going up. We're seeing a fairly standard build from Fly. Gonna go ahead and go with a Torn Chieftain second, however. I mean, it's a standard build, but it's actually not normally what you would expect. Normally, you would expect to see, I believe, you know, Shadow Hunter second. But we're gonna see Mountain King coming out second for Reprisal, which is what you would expect. And we just have players running they're just all over the map this game. They really are. It's all over the map. I mean, Torrent Chieftain, like I said, I don't want to make it sound like it's not standard. It is, but, you know, normally, at least normally I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I would say it's a standard pick, but I would also say that it's like not the most standard pick is what I think that like expresses my viewpoint fairly well. Yeah, so we're going to see this Mountain King taking some damage from this Blade Master. The Mountain King actually going to have to run back into his base to try to avoid being picked off by this Blade Master. That Blade Master has so much mana right now. He might actually be able to get him the Mountain King no matter what he does. But it looks like there's a dust, and now the Blade Master can back off just a little bit. Going to come right back in, though, for that try to kill the Mountain King. Is he going to be able to get it? I don't know. He's been slowed by these sorceresses, and he's just kind of being kited around right now by this Mountain King. Going to go ahead and open up for some more backstab damage. Going to go ahead and get another bolt off, but there isn't another dust. There goes the other dust. And will the Blade Master be forced out? He's going to be forced to run away at this point, and he might actually go down. Will he actually go down? That would be a really good play from Reprisal. Down, down, down. He's at 3 HP. Oh, is he going to 12 HP? He's going to get away. Oh, the Mountain King gets him as he runs up the ramp. Nice. Nicely done by Reprisal. That is really good play by Reprisal. I mean, that Blade Master was really a lot stronger than this army over here was. However, really nice kiting, really nice micro, and proper dust usage. Really nice play by Reprisal. That's all I can say. Fly probably slightly surprised that his Blade Master actually died right there. I know I would be. I'd be like, man, did that just happen? But it did, and so that's unfortunate for Fly. However, here we do see Reprisal now creeping out this camp. Gonna pull it just in case it does get jacked. It's always a possibility that the Fly will come over here and Tavern Revive the Blade Master and walk over here, you know, if he Tavern Revived it with his army. And that could be an issue, so that's why you want to pull away. Just always good to pull away whenever you're even slightly concerned about being creep jacked. Here we do see Fly has a scout peon. Is that going to go down? It looks like it's just going to be ignored by Reprisal's army. And up here we're going to see that Fly is now going to creep something out. Just green perhaps. Yes, indeed, going to creep out the green. Does have some peons now joining the ranks of his army. So at that point, this doesn't really do too well, I don't think, with peons in the army. But that's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal. We can see there's 4 peons. Now their goal isn't to do damage. Their goal is to tank, and of course that works fairly well with Spirit Link, because when you have Spirit Linked units and you have some Spirit Link peons and they're in the way, units will prefer to auto acquire anything else, and so essentially it makes it much harder to micro against this sort of army when you have peons in it. And it makes it more survivable. But either way, what we're going to see is Fly has a clear advantage in terms of the number of food in his army. As you can see, 32 plus 4 for the peons. It's 36 food count. And army versus 23 for Reprisal. So very low on Reprisal's food count. That also counts in this militia, which is 23, which would take him down to 22. And you can see this is 29 right now. And as soon as this goes down to peasant, there he goes. It goes right back down to 28. So there you can see, clearly takes into account militia. So what you gonna do? But now we're gonna see Reprisal running away at this point. Just running away, trying to get back to his base. And there is an invisible Mountain King just running around. There was a time in Warcraft 3 where we actually saw a lot of heroes just picking up invisibility potions and having invisibility cast on them. And we saw this with footmen as well. And essentially what they would do is follow around their opponent's army and try to pick up items that were being as they were crept out. And I haven't actually seen that in a long time, but it looks like we might be seeing that right here, because there's plenty of invisibility time left on this Mountain King. He doesn't want to give any telltale signs to this army that he's actually there, so he doesn't want to actually block anything. Tries to take it off, or tries to get the steal. I don't think he did. It doesn't look like he did. And with that bolt, but there you go, there you have it. And now we're going to see that here comes Reprisal's army. This is Fly's army. Going to go ahead and have that water elemental surrounded, immediately focused down. We can see a raider going down to a bolt and a little bit of focus as well. Nicely done. Reprisal coming here. He is now at that 43 versus a 44 food army count. That is, of course, including these militia. So here we do see those running in there, about to wear out, and that's going to take him down immediately to 39 food. And here we're going to see now the shockwave being used effectively to do a lot of damage to these peasants. After this point, some of these spear links are being stolen, and so it's nice to have the peasants. They kind of serve as the same point as the peons, of course, when lots of spear link has been stolen. One of these Spirit Walkers goes down. Really nicely done. Who is going to win this fight? This is an interesting fight. It's kind of a cluster, you know, if you know what I'm saying. But quite interesting. We're going to see this Raider being bashed as it begins to walk away. And I say walk because it is slowed, and so it's very hard to run away. Going to go ahead and cast Ensnare on that Priest and go ahead and a Shockwave will take it down before that Raider dies. And we do see these peasants right here doing a nice form of blocking right here. You can see that another Raider taking some damage, but now we do see the Archmage that has been surrounded to go ahead and pop a Potion of Invulnerability, and Speed Scroll is used to counteract the movement speed slow of the slow being coming in from the sorceresses. You're going to see it looks like Reprisal trying to get away with a TP. Going to be able to do so no problem. And we can look here and see that is now 34 food versus 32. So I think Fly might have won that fight because he forced a TP and both players lost about the same in terms of army. So I don't know though. I don't know. But either way, what we will see, if we click over here, this is what's left of this red camp during that creep. And we're going to see it looks like Reprisal coming down here, pulling out this creep camp. And of course, we saw Fly pulling out the creep camp as well. Pulling out the creep camp is always the best idea. And we're going to see him try to creep this out. And Fly, coming down here, does have a nice item though, a Medallion of Courage from that red camp that he did pick up, which is of course +6 to your strength and intelligence, or +4. I'm not sure why I said +6, but it's +4. Either we're going to see some of these units going down as Fly takes a better position here, try to get into this fight and do some damage. Will this creep camp be pulled out and cause some havoc? It could. We're going to see an ensnare on that Sorceress, a bolt on the Blade Master. The Blade Master at 322 life. We're going to see that Mountain King actually has been ensnared, slightly surrounded, but not quite. He's going to try to run away. Speed Scroll going off. Going to try to maybe right-click onto the Mountain King. No, trying to get away a Raider. The Raider is going to go down. Archmage now really has no way out of this position, or out of this fight. Should it be focused? We're going to see a Raider taking a bolt and also going down as well. And Fly doing fairly well in this fight, but it looks like Reprisal is up about 10 units in food count here. And we're going to see a Shockwave that really just only hit 2 Priests right there, because it mostly hit Spellbreakers, which are of course immune. And we could see this fight going very convincingly perhaps in Reprisal's favor. He is at his base now, and we do see a mana being stolen, 15 mana being stolen from that Mountain King, indeed, over here to the Orc's army. I believe that was probably on the Torn Chieftain, if I had to take a guess. You can see a Scroll of Regeneration being used for the humans units to try to get them back up to full HP. They are of course lower on HP right now. They're more. This army is more damaged than Fly's army is. As you can see now, both players again vying for positioning. We do have, it turns out that the Archmage is going to run straight all the way up into the top position there. Doesn't have to worry too much. He's only one Raider, and he does have the ability to cast invisibility on his heroes, which means that essentially there's no dust either on the Fly's units right now. We're going to see that other Raider taking a bolt. That Raider is going to go down. Reprisal is in a great position right now. And will he be able to take this fight to the victory? He could do so. He's really working right now just on keeping the best positioning as possible that he can have right now, doing a lot of slows, kiting a lot, and going to bring his Archmage up here to the shop. We're going to pick up a Scroll of Healing, and now his Archmage could be in a bad spot here. He's at the shop. He does have enough money for a Potion of Invulnerability here right there, but will he be able to use that in time to actually get the rest of his army over here to buy time? He needs to buy time right now. We are at a shop. He does do a nice block right now. He's going to go ahead and immediately what's the word I'm looking for? Immediately go. I don't know, whatever the point is. He's trying to get out of here. He does pick up the dust. That way, in case he gets invisible. Yes, he does. The invisibility is cast on him. The Mountain King now taking a bad fight. Oh, the Mountain King was surrounded. The Mountain King goes down. And this is all of a sudden not looking as well for Reprisal as he runs away. That was kind of a mistake, I think, to run his Archmage up there away from that army. I think he should have gone around the side with his army and then tried to come in from the bottom or from the top to get to that shop to actually buy the Scroll of Healing. But unfortunately for him, And now we do see Fly up 12 food in this food count, in this army count on this food. We see a shockwave going off on that Archmage, as well as the Blade Master opening and doing some backstab damage. He's trying to run away, but he's against a level 5 Blade Master. It's not looking good. There isn't enough mana right now for another Windwalk. Slow does go off on that Blade Master. We might see a shockwave to kill the Arch. Yes, a shockwave kills the Archmage. I saw the Torn Chieftain was walking into position, and Reprisal GG's. So there you have it. That's game 3. Reprisal, that was unfortunate. It was a good play by Fly to catch the mistake that that Reprisal had. I'm always afraid to tap this thing too many times. Like, there we go. Okay, it's like, because the OK button is right here. The OK button is literally right here, and those other the speed buttons are right there. So it's like, I don't know if I really want to hit those buttons. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But yeah, so that's game 3, and that was season 2 HiNice Cup best of 3 match. And so who won? Well, I say congratulations to the winner of this game, because of course that is Fly. He won the best of 3. It's HiNice Cup, so neither player, it's not really a tournament. They're not knocked out, or at least I don't think they are. I guess it depends on exactly what the current rankings are, but I don't think so. I think, and all the important knockout matches, I think, are best of 5s, but I don't know if that's true or not, but I think. Either way, we'll find out. Anyway, it's HiNice Cup. I love HiNice Cup games, and hopefully you guys do too, and I will see you guys next time.